Hi everybody, my name is Rhys Barber. I'm the audiologist here at Audiology Associates. We upload new earwax removal videos every Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 9 PM UK time, so please consider subscribing. Hi everybody, this is Rhys Barber from Audiology Associates. Thank you very much for watching our earwax removal video today. I've got two patients in this compilation, both of which have very hardened up earwax, so very stubborn earwax. Now, this first patient's come through only a problem just on one side, but as you can see, the earwax here is absolutely rock solid. Okay, so it's got lots of hairs embedded in there. The wax itself has dried out quite considerably, so instead of it being a little bit kind of tough around the edges and soft in the middle, this is as hard as a stone. It's like a pebble in this ear canal. It's going to be really difficult to remove because two factors. First of all, it's hard as a rock. The second is that it's perfectly formed to the shape of the ear canal. So it means it's very difficult to get any tool in and around this piece of wax. So what you'll see, we've got the Jobson horn here. We tried with the standard size on the tube, but couldn't get a grip on here. So we've got the Jobson horn in here, trying to push down from the top of the wax. So what I'm trying to do is just budget and move this wax so that I can try and get a grip on it, probably using a set of forceps. But as you can see, I can't even get into the wax. It's that tough that the Jobson horn at the moment is just literally scraping across the top of the wax. It's not moving it or budging it at all. Because of the gap around the outside, you're not able to get anything like, say, for instance, a St. Bart's hook in here because it's flat. We do try one in a second just so you'll be able to see why we're struggling. Because of the shape of the St. Bart's hook, it's a flat piece of plastic, if you like, trying to go in. With the Jobson horn, you've got a slight rounded end to it, so it's easier to push it along the canal wall and try and get behind the wax. But you can see even that, I'm struggling to get behind it. We can't get the Jobson horn in far enough to get behind the wax, so we're having to push down from the top section to try and move it. But because of the shape of the Jobson horn, you can't push in too far either because the shape naturally pushes it into the wax at the back. But unfortunately, it's just not able to penetrate that wax further in. So we're really having to put a lot of pressure down on top of this wax to be able to maneuver this out of the canal. And I just need to get this moving. Olive oil wouldn't really make much of a difference for this piece of wax. If there was a gap around it and we were able to get the oil to penetrate down the side of it, that might work. You can see why we couldn't use the Jobson horn, the St. Bart's hook here. We're going in with it at the moment, but it's because it's so flat, we can't get it to bend into the wax and bend around to the shape of the canal. So back to the Jobson horn again here. Trying to work down this left side. The reason I'm not working down the right side, there's a slight protrusion to the wax on the right side canal wall there, so it's more difficult to get the Jobson horn down that side, which is why we're aiming for this left side. So what we're going to have to do is, I spoke to the patient, just said, look, to get this out, it is going to feel a bit uncomfortable because we have to put a lot of pressure on this and it's very hard, so it's going to push against the canal walls. But that's what we did. You can see it's just starting to pull out. So we've turned it just ever so slightly. So we haven't now got a very flat edge on the outside section. Patient was finding it uncomfortable now to get the Jobson horn in. So we're going to try and use the crocodile forceps to grip from the outside and pull outwards rather than push from behind, if you like. There you go. Very dry. When you take that away, look, you can see the canal walls were quite dry. There's the eardrum there. So this is the piece we took away. So very old wax, very dried out, very old, lots of hair, lots of dry skin in here, which is what's hardened it all up. So this is the second patient out compilation, also come through with just one ear blocked up. You can see we've got quite a large chunk. Initially looking quite soft because they've been using a little bit of olive oil on the outside edge. So we've gone in with the standard size Zollner tube here, just to try and see if we can move this around a little bit. apologies for not uploading on Wednesday, everybody. We've been interviewing all week for another audiologist to give us a helping hand here. So we were flat out with doing that this week and kind of collating all the interview responses and things. So hopefully we should have some news about that. Fingers crossed by the end of next week. But we're back to it today now, getting these in. So I do apologise for not giving you any notification about that, because we expected to be up to upload that day, but we just didn't have a chance. So we've managed to get a grip on this wax now. We are pulling from the right hand side. There's a piece of dry skin to the right canal wall here, which is stopping that larger section from coming forward. So I've peeled it away from the canal wall. We just need to get a grip on it now with the forceps to try and pull this out. Just taking the end of it away there. So we're going to go back in now, see if that's removed enough to be able to get to the piece of wax behind. But as you can see, we've got some movement here. You can see as we move it up and down, you can see that the actual oil that's gone in there is compressing against the canal wall, just poking out from the bottom. But we're getting a grip on this drier skin first to try and move this out the way, because that's holding a lot of this in place. The movement we're getting to this wax is more of a kind of an up and down movement, but it is just rocking slightly backwards. So we can't get a grip on it to pull this forwards, but it is able to move back. Now the last thing we want to do is push a large chunk of wax like this further in, because it's going to cause more problems, which is why I'm sticking with the suction tube for this first section here for a little bit. But I think, as you can see, we're struggling to get a grip. So what we're going to do is just going to run from the top down the wax, just at the front end, because I want to do, there you go, I don't want to push into the wax too far. I just want to break this front section away. See if we can get up behind it. You can see we can't get up behind that top section. If we break this front section down, it means that we can get a better suction grip as we break these pieces of wax apart. If you're trying to get a grip on something that's solid and relatively smooth, then obviously it's very difficult to get a grip. But if you just break away that front section of wax, just rough it up a little bit using the Jobson horn, it means you get these protrusions that, if the wax is hard enough, sometimes you'll be lucky and get a hold of those and be able to pull that whole section out at the same time. Unfortunately for us, they didn't hold on to the rear section. So what I'm doing now is trying to find anywhere I can get a good grip. There's another bit of that dry skin look to the right canal wall, dry skin and wax. So peeling that away. Let's see if we can get rid of that. There we go. It's coming away. That bottom section now is starting to lift away a little bit. So this wax is going to come away, but it's going to come away in installments, unfortunately. So we're just going to take a piece away. Let's get a grip on this dry bit of wax and skin mixed together here and pull that out if we can. There we are. That's come away. It looks like it's pulled another section forwards as well. You can see that falling down into the canal there. So we'll get a grip on that section as well. We could have gripped that bit with the suction too, but because we had the crocodile forceps in hand anyway, we might as well do it with that. So we're going to go in that a little bit deeper now. You can still see, unfortunately for us, it's broken away and left another flat front edge. Now you can see how much more movement there is now. We've taken that front section away. We can see how much this wax is actually moving here. See, it's difficult to try and, I'm searching on the wax to try and find a nice, good, strong hold with the suction. Got a bit of up and down movement there again. You can see it's detached from the bottom canal wall, but still held in really tightly in there, unfortunately. So we're going to go back in now. Same procedure again. We're just looking to remember to rough this front end of the wax up. If we try and push too far, we haven't got a good enough opening at the top of this wax. It is just going to shove that wax deeper in. So we're just roughing our front end up, aiming then for the bottom where the wax is all puckered up. So we've got a bit of a kind of a hold on using the suction now. So you can see this wax is immune to wiggle. It doesn't want to come out even with wiggling. The wiggle has failed at this point, guys. I'm sorry. So we're trying to get this. You can see now, trying to move it across to the right hand side. It looks like the wax is sat probably on a little bit of a bend in the canal, a little bit of up and down movement, trying to hold on to it whilst moving it up and down and pulling towards the outer part of the ear canal as well. That's not really working, so back in now with the Jobson horn. Remember, just trying to get a grip. There we are. Where that bottom section was jutting forwards, I was trying to get behind it with the Jobson horn, hopefully holding on to the tougher outer section of the wax and maybe bring that forwards. That didn't work, so we're back in now with the suction tube. It's broken that little bit, unfortunately, away at the bottom there. So, but now we can aim for the top. We're going to try and roll this top section, looking for a piece of wax that's been sitting against the top of the canal wall, that's going to be easier to hold on to, which we've got a piece there, look, you see. A bit of dry skin, and that's coming away now. Got a grip on that top section. Starting to fold it down. It's starting to peel away from the main bulk of wax now, though. I'm hoping that when we pull on this, it's going to pull the rest out, but it's detached again, so back in. There you go. You can see the bits of dry skin coming away with this now, but still not out yet, unfortunately. So, but it is looking a little bit looser. You can see there's a lot more movement to these pieces now. So we're just getting a grip on any loose sections we can using the suction, pulling that forwards. You can see the lip of white dry skin there to the right hand side of the canal wall. Trying to detach it from the base. You can see the white, see all the dry skin, look underneath. It's been holding this in place. Now this gentleman has had some irrigation done a year ago, and he said he's been having this done regularly. I don't think they've been removing all the wax, because this last section is really tough and it's really hardened up in there. Okay, now we've rolled it down now, so we're working on what was the top of the wax now. You can see just using the suction tube for two things at the moment, just trying to hold on to it with the suction, but also pushing in just ever so slightly and then dragging down. So we're trying to move the wax, trying to roll it forwards. Really, struggling. So you can see pressing into the wax. Now, you see the difference that makes when you press into it, because if you press down into that wax a little bit, the suction grip comes on, it catches hold, and if you're lucky, it'll bring it out if the wax is quite solid. But this is a kind of like a crumbly texture, so instead of it holding onto a large piece, it's breaking and crumbling away underneath. Same thing again, look, pressing in, pushing down. Same again, pressing into the wax, trying to wiggle it well, pushing down. That you can see it starts breaking bigger chunks away when you use that technique to get this out. Back in again now. Okay, so we've got some smoother wax there, look, to the left hand canal wall. If we can lift that around, we can get a really good grip, because that's a little bit softer. It's a mixture of skin and wax. It's broken away again. Getting a grip now, pulling it around to the right hand side. I mean, this was a really satisfying. It's frustrating to watch, and trust me, it's frustrating to do sometimes, but it's really satisfying when you do get it all out, because the patient they were so relieved to get this out, bless them. So we're coming to the end now. We can see a little bit of that dry skin coming away. Everything's starting to move a little bit more freely. Just trying to get a grip on the bottom there, spinning the wax again, turning it to try and get a good grip. There we go. There we go. That's the last bit of dry skin. So we can see now, there we go. You can see where it's all been sat down inside there. We've got some dry skin to the left, very deep dry wax next to the eardrum, a little bit of dry wax at the top of the drum as well. So we're going to put the fine end on now. I'm going to aim for one of the most awkward bits first of all. So aim for this top section first. Very gentle, don't want to touch the canal wall or the eardrum if we can help it. There we go, so that's detached really easily. Now we're going to aim for the bottom section now. This bit's been sitting right up against the eardrum. There we are. I know there's a little bit of dry skin there to the left hand canal wall. So, oh sorry, no, hang on. We're going to do the top right first of all. There's a little bit left up here, so we're going to aim for that. There's a bit of dry skin. There you go. See it starting to peel away? Let's get rid of that. There we are. So unpeel that bit. And then there is a little bit to the left-hand side as well. So we're going to get rid of, there it is, just in the corner. There we go. So we're going to get rid of that one. Just going to take that one away. You can see the eardrum behind looking nice and healthy, nice and shiny. A little bit of dryness to the canal walls, which is why it looks a bit pink. I don't know about you guys, I'm exhausted. That was, but there we go. That's what we removed. So just over an inch and a half even, sorry. Thank you very much for watching our video today. If you did enjoy the video, then please like. If you're not subscribed already or you'd like to do so, you can click the subscribe button here. If you'd like to check out some more of our videos, they're also up there. Now, if you want to follow us, you can do on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and also check our website if you want to know a little bit more about us. As always, guys, until the next time, take care.